300 can wade through life as a kind of mediocre family hauler. The V6 and back-wheel drive, that is half appropriate by our record. Select into the tearing soundtrack provided by its 363 drive V8, and the Chrysler 300 bodes well again as a muscle vehicle with a touch of usefulness. Ride and taking care of have the certain lean and swagger a major vehicle ought to have, without excessively nosy hardware. Age is a norm or here, however we're all in on the accessible all-wheel drive framework that gives the 300 all-season footing. Ray's Situate room isn't its solid suit, yet the 300 car fits 5 grown-ups when it needs to, and treats the front travelers with most extreme regard. On the lavish models, the front seats cool and warm and wear stitched calfskin and hold like a strong handshake. The storage compartment can swing a couple of sets of golf clubs. A cell phone can charge remotely in its own receptacle. It's the seemingly insignificant details that check, but at the same time it's the huge things. Crash test scores are from another time, as well, lamentably. And keeping in mind that the Chrysler 300 has the standard fitments and some decent new additional items, for example, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto similarity, Chrysler charges additional for programmed crisis braking and for an inside to put all its different insides on point. A $40,000 300C does all it needs to do well, and does things a consummately balanced $35,000 Accord never can do. We've turned out to be tainted when we get out vehicles for terrible styling, when they've just become more established. That is the reason the Chrysler 300 still scores well in our styling classification. No, it hasn't changed much since its 2005 dispatch or since a light reskin quite a while prior. In any case, it's still incredible in its quality, and rich in its best Sunday garments. At its propelled age, the basic inquiries meet: is it still gorgeous, and will it stand the trial of time? The previous a yes, the last's now been demonstrated. The 2019 300 doesn't cull a solitary string from its expertly custom-fitted suit. The Brat Pack intrigue of the first 300 car shone through in 2005, and in the event that anything, its latest reskin just improved it fit. It's snazzy, fresh, and holds up strikingly well over a scope of hues. It's the Chanel suit of the proper cloth time. Here's the means by which it separates. At the front, the 300's adjusted corners balance some slick edges that play over its exemplary long hood, short deck shape. The tastefulness originates from the smooth, fared-in grille and wends its way to the back, where its extents still look contemporary. It may be anything but difficult to destroy the essential shape's intrigue, and in fact on some trim dimensions, Chrysler attempts to attach excessively streamlined trim. Be that as it may, the 300 by and large opposes those additional items. Indeed, even with threatening 20-inch Hagelsfane front end, it pulls off a manly look without a scoff or peculiar hostility. The Lodge is as yet a naturally satisfying work environment, with easily rendered bends over the dash that top a flawlessly sorted out workspace. Base autos have hard plastic trim, yet in the more expensive rate echelon, the 300 simple clock, knitted cowhide seats, and common conditioned wood trim cooperate so well. The moderate sticker price puts some extravagance-labeled vehicles to disgrace. Most 300 cars draw control from a 292 horsepower, 3.6-liter V6, uprated to 300 horsepower during the 300s on account of a cool air admission and execution fumes. Numbers and letters, everything gets very confounding. The V6 was an appreciated entry about 6 years prior, and it conveys fine power that suits the driving errands most drivers will allocate it. Two-path passes come energetically, and the V6 has solid draw on the interstate, on account of the pitch-impeccable 8-speed program that sends capacity to the back or to every one of the four wheels. Some driveline rolls aside, it's a very much coordinated powertrain for a mid-valued, premium 4 entryway. In any case, we won't be stunned by anybody that thinks about this bruise.